Kavanagh, thanks for joining us here in the Red Rock in Las Vegas. You said in your column last week that you feel that your reputation is on the line tomorrow night. You don't really look like a man who's under pressure in this environment at the moment.
To steal a quote from Connor, the confidence is based in the training we've done. So I know what's gone on since March 5th. I know the effort that's been put in, the work that's been done. So I feel very relaxed.
Obviously, the big fight tomorrow night is Conor and Nate Diaz, but a lot of people, I guess, are forgetting that you've got two fighters on the card tomorrow night. Artemis' fight is kind of it's kind of setting the scene of the whole Diaz and McGregor rivalry. He's fighting Diaz's teammate Chris Avila. Just looking at Artem at the media day yesterday, he looks in extremely good shape. It's probably the best shape we've ever seen him in. He looks like he recognises that this is a really big fight for him. It's his UFC career on the line, obviously.
Yeah, he knows this is make or break. There's no point in putting flowers around it. If he doesn't beat Chris, he's out of the UFC. It's that simple. And Artem is not the type of guy you have to put fluff around. He'll say that louder than I will. But he has an ideal opponent, a kind of a striking, boxing-based opponent. He's quite new to the sport. I believe he's 5-2 or something, so not that experienced yet. And it's his first time in a show like this. So it's quite a lot of weight on Chris, a lot of expectation, and that octagon, that first time making that walk to the octagon is pretty heavy. Artem has quite a bit of experience in this, so yeah, it's make or break for Artem, but he's going to make it.
Yeah, I guess after the two losses, he's possibly quite fortunate to get a third opportunity, but he's shown in the past that he can capitalise when he gets a bit of good fortune. At TUF, he got a wild card back in there, and he certainly made the most of that. So I guess the precedent is there for him to maybe capitalise on this.
Yeah, and it's an earned shot. I mean, his last fight wasn't great. Again, Artem is the first one to say that. But he's well able to be objective about these things, and he knows, and everybody knows how well he did in the house. Okay, he got a bit of a wild card to get back in, then 3 fights, 3 knockouts. So although the last 2 fights haven't been great, I think he's earned this extra shot. But if he doesn't use this one, then it would be justified for him not to get another chance.
How do you see the fight itself turning out?
Well, the guy Chris, not only does he walk, talk, act, dress like Nate, he somewhat imitates his style, so he has a kind of a counter-style boxing. But I think Artem's going to put him under an enormous amount of pressure very, very early. I can see it being somewhat reminiscent of the Aldo fight, with Chris being a little too eager, extending a little too much, and then being woken up.
In terms of Conor's fight, obviously, since the press conference on Wednesday, there's a bit of drama there, and there's been a bit of fire in Conor's belly since that. You can tell it kind of maybe got under his skin a little bit. It kind of angered him. Have you seen that side of him before? He did seem quite irritated the last couple of days. Yeah, there's a lot of people reading, a lot of the I call them the MMA psychiatrists, reading a lot into that video. My girlfriend Orla and Dee were both in the line of fire. Actually, Dee got hit by a roll of tape, and Orla almost got hit by a bottle. I got hit by a hot coffee, and it sprayed onto Orla as well. So there was never going to be anything except an emotional response to that. If you see your girlfriend, it's one thing just pushing and shoving on the stage. I don't mind that. That's a bit, to be honest, it's kind of a bit of fun because you don't take it all that serious. But it's another thing taking the high ground and throwing down full bottles of water at a fighter's girlfriend. And they were aiming for us. They weren't aiming even for Conor. They were aiming for us. So what was going to happen with a camera following us for the first minute or two, it wasn't going to be anything else except that. Now, what followed an hour later, we were back to the way we were. We have a solid game plan. This is not a street fight. This is not a brawl. We're not going in there with that in mind. We're going in there with a plan that's taken 4 months at this stage, 4 or 5 months at this stage, to conceive, prepare for, and now time to execute. Yeah, you can see after the last fight there was a lot of respect between both camps. I think you were pictured hanging out with Jake Shields for a while. Funny enough, I think it was
Jake, who threw that coffee.
Jake got me with the coffee.
Has that changed the dynamic between the two camps, or is it still just business and you can separate that, or is there a bit of animosity there?
Look, there's always build up. You know, in every fight there's build up. It's a fight at the end of the day, and I have no problem with that. I have no problem in the back and forward and at the weigh-ins, the push and the shove. And I've never had a problem with that. And then when the fight's over, you bow, you shake hands, respect the show. But that's going to be hard for me to come back from. They knew there was girlfriends down there was kids down there, and they instigated it. So that's a lot of respect lost for me. In other, I mean, we've had a lot of fights, a lot of shows, a lot of fighters, and there's always been a build-up and trash talk and stuff like that. And it's never bothered me. And we had a lot in the last build-up, and when I happened to bump into Jake at the club after the loss, I was the first to shake his hands and congratulate him and his team. And I thought we would do the same this time. You know, let's have the build-up, let's have a good contest, and then, you know, hope to bump into them again and shake hands on a profitable night, on an excellent, what's going to be a fantastic fight. But that's murder for me. That man aimed hot coffee at my face. You know, it's hard to let something like that go.
I mean, going back to what we were saying earlier on about, you mentioned that your reputation is on the line. It's a big statement to make, obviously, especially given that no matter what the result tomorrow night, you're still going to be the coach of the UFC flyweight champion. Can you maybe elaborate on
Yeah, I will, because that's my mother rang me about that, and my dad was giving out to me on the phone as well. Just to clarify what I meant, I think every coach's reputation and every fighter's reputation is on the line with every fight. You really are as good as your last contest, and this fight has been a little bit unusual for us in that we've had a single opponent to prepare against for 4 or 5 months. So, yeah, no matter who Conor was facing, or Artem, or you know, Chris, or James Gallagher, or Franz Malambo, wherever we're preparing to face, the fighter's reputation is on the line. They've got to win that contest, and in somewhat a reflection, the gym and myself, obviously the head coach. So I don't particularly mean it's any more on this one than on previous ones. Maybe it didn't come out the exact way I meant it, but yeah, I do believe our reputation's on the line with this, as it is for every fight.
You said previously you're going with a 4-round knockout for Conor tomorrow night. Is that still the prediction?
Yeah, I think that there's, you know, just I've been rewatching the fights the last while, and you know, the Benson Henderson fight was a good one to watch. But the last minute of the last round, Nate's still charging on him. Nate's still trying to do what he does, and the dying seconds he's still screaming at him. You know, he's got incredible energy and an incredible ability to take punishment. So I don't think he's going to be out there quickly. So I see it going into the championship rounds, and possibly stoppage late in the fight. I don't know why it's the 4th round. I still have it in my head.
John, thanks for your time, and all the best.
Thank you.